Hi everyone, I'm Amanda Mann with Simply Eatable, and today I'm going to show you a super simple sausage patty recipe. I started doing this a while back because of my husband's corn allergy, and you know, for breakfast, having breakfast sausage is kind of nice, and a vast majority of the ground sausages out there contain some form of gluten or corn, and at some point I figured that I could spice meat up and make some patties and have it exactly the way I want it, and know exactly what's in it. And so that's what I started doing. So I have some ground turkey right here. This is about 3 pounds. The recipe I'm actually going to give you online is only for 2 pounds, but I just happened to get a large 3-pound pack, so we're going to go with it. And then the spices are super simple. I've got parsley, thyme, oregano, garlic, and salt. And that's it. And then I've got my countertop griddle right here. Blah, blah, blah. Can't talk this morning. I've got my countertop griddle right here, and you can also make these patties and bake them. But if you grill them or put them on the griddle or fry them in a pan a little bit, they get that really nice crispy outside, which I really love about these. So we're going to start. I like to use gloves, and you know, you can use the dish gloves, but if you get these like vinyl or nitrile gloves, like the medical kind of gloves, they're a little bit easier to handle with food, and I don't like raw meat under my nails, so that's why I use gloves. And you add all the spices. Ugh, it's humid here. Everything's sticking to my bowls. And then you mix it together. Okay, so once you've got your meat and your spices all mixed up, depending on how large you want your patties, I mean, in general, I usually have these for breakfast, and I don't like to have a large amount of food in the morning, and so I make them a little bit smaller. But because these are so versatile, if you want them for a snack or dinner or lunch or whatever, you can make them a little bit bigger. And you just make small patties with them. And I have a stovetop griddle that I'm warming up to about 350. And what I do with these is I tend to separate them and put them in a small container for about how much that I think that I might eat in a week, my husband and I, and then I'll freeze the rest. And so once you're ready, I mean, I can do this in about 30 minutes, and I can have these patties last for 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how quickly I go through them. So again, it's another one of those really great on-hand healthy option for you if you've got food allergies, or if you're trying to be healthier or whatever. And the great part about this stovetop griddle is that you can cook a bunch of them at the same time. I mean, I might be able to get this entire batch on one griddle. Another thing too is I'm using ground turkey, but the meat is very interchangeable with pork or even beef if you want to do beef. I just like the ground turkey because I tend to do better with the leaner meats. I have even mixed meat, so I've done you know, a little bit of ground turkey and ground chicken and ground pork all in the same batch. And that's good too, because it kind of gives you a little bit of different flavors. So this is a pretty versatile recipe right here. Smells just like sausage. Now, if you don't have issues with nightshades, please feel free to add some paprika or some sort of pepper or spice. I tend to keep the nightshades out of it just because my husband eats these on a regular basis, and he is trying to stay as closely as possible to the autoimmune paleo diet. And nightshades are kind of can be problematic for him. So, okay, so as you can see, I've got quite a few sausages on my griddle right now. And then they cook anywhere between, you know, roughly 5 minutes each side. They'll have this nice crispy outside. I don't know if you can see that here. If you are cooking these in a pan, you probably will need to use some sort of oil in your pan, bacon grease or olive oil or whatever you want to use. Okay guys, so I'm finishing up my last bit of patties. I've got a big plate of them already done right here. And as you can see, the nice charred pieces on the edges give it that extra yumminess, I guess, that unfortunately you don't always get in the oven. But again, you can bake these if you want to. And they're super simple. It's just a meat patty, guys, and it's got this fabulous flavor. It's super simple, and it's perfect for anything. Breakfast with eggs and some fruit, or lunch with some roasted vegetables, or even dinner with some roasted vegetables. So they're very versatile. You can always change up the seasonings. You can make this more of a Mexican style if you want to throw like chili powder, cumin, taco seasoning. You have to watch out for taco seasoning being gluten-free if you're not gluten-free or grain-free, because surprisingly a lot of those seasoned mixes contain some sort of starch, cornstarch, wheat flour, rice flour, a lot of different stuff, just as an anti-caking agent. So just be aware of that. Anyways, I hope you enjoy it, and subscribe for more recipes, and we'll see you next time.